Hello, gorgeous human beings. Welcome to this very special Zoom meeting where we are celebrating a powerful, a beautiful lady and the birth of her new book, Carina Klaassen, and Mind Your Confidence, Mind Your Business. And I feel so privileged and honored to be here. Carina asked me to present the book and to do the interview with her. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sandra Laura Manuela, and I'm a colleague of Carina and a member of the Association of Transformational Leaders in Europe. And I am so happy and celebrating this new baby of our powerful lady, Carina Klaassen. Let's introduce Carina, because we have a powerhouse here. Carina Klaassen is the expert for organizational happiness advice, training and consultancy, and the founder of Happy Buzz. She's a highly experienced and reliable consultant with more than 30 years of working experience in multinational and multicultural companies. It took her a burnout to discover that you can train yourself to experience less stress and more happiness in your life and on the work floor. And her purpose is to support organizations and people to flourish for a greater good. She offers leadership trainings, organizational happiness consulting, and coaching to help managers and employees self-advocate their lives and careers to reconnect with their essence, resulting in more happiness and resilience. And Carina is also a certified happiness and heart coherence coach, a facilitator for the energy codes, and she has an MBA degree in organizational happiness. Carina also has a degree in design and is a creative problem solver. Wow, so we have got a powerhouse here. Carina, I am so honored to be here, and congratulations with your new baby, with your book.
Thank you so much, Sandra. And I'm also delighted that you're here, that my daughter Veronique is here, and that Honey, who will show up later, and of course my husband, are here as well, live in the studio. But also everybody who is, looking from their computers.
Yes.
And I would like to ask everybody to open up their cameras, because I have a huge screen in front of me and I can't see anyone. So it will be lovely, really great, because of all the people that are also here in this call and who are here today, they are part of this journey of writing this book.
Oh, that is so interesting. A book about confidence, and look, all the images are popping up and we can see
Nice.
Everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so curious, why a book about confidence, Carina?
Yes, well, first of all, it has to do with my own story, because I used to be very insecure myself, and I've traveled. I've had a long journey to come where I am today. I used to be so insecure, and it has cost me so much that I really wanted to help others make a shortcut. And I still notice that there are so many people who have a lack of confidence. So that was why I wanted to write about confidence, but also about the importance of confidence for work. Not just confidence for your personal life, but also in your business, or if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're an employer.
Now, confidence, it's such a big word. It has so many layers. What is it for you?
For me, it's knowing my boundaries, knowing what I stand for, what I can do and what I can't do, and really standing in my power, and not to worry whether I say something wrong, that my confidence all of a sudden isn't there anymore. So really owning it.
In your book, you write that the goal is to get to self-love. But then we first need the step of confidence, then go to courage, and then only then it can become self-love. Please explain.
Well, I would have loved it to be differently. It would have been great if we all were raised in a way that we could immediately embrace self-love. But most of us haven't learned how to embrace self-love. Therefore, I always say it's easier first to work on your confidence. And in the book, I give different steps for that. And when you have a certain amount of self-confidence, it's much easier to start to love yourself. Because loving yourself has to do with fully accepting who you are and what you are, including your good sides and your bad sides. But if you have a low confidence, then it's very hard to start with self-love. And also, we are so used to look at others first to love, because that's what most of us learned. And it seemed so selfish to start with self-love. Whereas in the plane they always say, put on your own oxygen mask first.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be great if we were able to cultivate self-love much more and be in our power and accept who we are and what we are with all our flaws and not feel terrible about it, but also that we have the courage to say no and to take care of ourselves.
Now, that's a journey, and you write about it so beautifully in your book. How could more self-love and more courage and more confidence impact the corporate world for the better?
A lot, yes. If you have a lack of confidence, people usually don't know where to set their boundaries. That's where it starts. So, for example, if you don't know where to set your boundaries, you might please too much. And because you please so much, it's really difficult to say no. And then you might get overworked, like I did. You might get a burnout. So that already has a huge impact on work. But also, if you're afraid to fail because you don't have the confidence to take a risk, then where do we go with innovation, for example? And if you doubt yourself constantly, it's so hard to decide, okay, should I do this or should I do that? It takes time, you miss opportunities, and maybe because you are so afraid to take risks, nothing is happening. So it has a huge impact on businesses, and I even dare to say that companies miss out millions of dollars per year because people don't have the confidence. Leaders don't have the confidence. Employees don't have the confidence. Entrepreneurs don't have it.
So, way to go, and we need to practice it. And I love how you give in your book little practical exercises, and you also share a lot of your own story.
Yes.
What were the moments in your life that you struggled with confidence and that you had these breakthroughs in getting more confidence?
I think the biggest struggle was when I had my burnout. Veronique, my daughter, was really young then, and at a certain moment I remember I was playing with her on the floor and I was so tired because I had stretched myself so far that I even couldn't play with her anymore. And I just fell asleep while I was playing with her. And I remember that she said, "Mommy, Mommy." And I felt so embarrassed and I felt so small because I even didn't have the energy anymore to play with her, as a mom. So I felt I failed as a mom. And in those days, I really had the idea that I needed to be perfect in all the areas. So I worked for Unilever back then. I had quite a demanding job. I wanted, to be perfect in what I did. I wanted to be a perfect mom. I wanted to be a perfect wife. I wanted to look great, do sports, it's too much.
The struggle of every woman today, every modern woman,
isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it? Yes. So when I got this burnout, I think then it's a wake-up call, but it's also, if anything is terrible for your confidence, it's a burnout. Because you don't even know who you are anymore and how to come from there to being, feeling a normal person again. So for me, that was the biggest struggle. And I think a huge eye-opener was when I had my burnout, it was so bad that I needed to go to a rehabilitation center.
Yeah.
And in the rehabilitation center, they give you all kinds of things. So you've got like physiotherapy, psychological help, etc. And I remember the psychologist said to me, Karina, where are your boundaries? And I was like, boundaries? I had no clue, Sandra.
Yeah.
No clue. So I came from so far. I had sort of had to find myself first.
Boundaries. I also coach and mentor a lot of women from all walks of life. It is something that is a struggle or a challenge for every woman I work with. Boundaries. How
Yes.
can we set a healthy boundary?
Yeah.
How did you start doing that?
Yes. Well, I think the first question is not how to set healthy boundaries, but what are your boundaries? To determine what are your values, what do you stand for, what are you willing to put up with, and what not. And when you've determined that, for example, by looking at your values, I've got some exercises in the book about that as well, then you can see, okay, this is like a kind of framework where I feel myself happy and where I can stay myself. And when you slowly start then by really, what I sometimes say, like putting like poles in the floor,
Yeah.
you know, for those boundaries, like, okay, if somebody asks something where you would normally say no, yes, then you say no.
And still, it's a scary thing, Kari.
It is.
I
It is.
loved the part where you wrote about it, that you did it. You actually,
Yeah.
at your work, decided to set a healthy boundary. I can imagine it's scary because we're scared losing our job, for example.
Yeah, and I've definitely been in situations where at first I would let myself be peopled by others to do things that were not in line with who I want to be and the person I want to look at in the mirror at the end of the day. So I remember once I did that for an employer, and I came home and I thought, I feel awful. I am never, ever going to do that again for an employer. So that was sort of a decision. And then I came into different situations where the proof is in the pudding. So I really had to do that and stand up for that. And actually what I've seen by expressing that, by setting these boundaries and being really clear, like, okay, if I have to do this, it's really something that goes against me, against my values, people respect that.
So
That's
you
the funny
didn't lose
thing.
your
I
job.
didn't lose my job.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, maybe in the beginning it looks very vulnerable to do it, but I think that's where the strength is, where the power is.
The courage.
The
like you
courage is,
write
yes,
about. Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
You write in your book, we are often our own worst enemy. How come? Because don't we all want to be happy?
We do, yes.
So why are we our own worst enemy? Because it's true what you say.
It's true, yes. We are our worst enemy because we have so many limited beliefs. And those limited beliefs really determine what we do, how we behaved, how we act. But those limiting beliefs are usually our saboteurs and not our sages. But because we are so convinced that's the truth, we really are our worst enemy. Because, for example, I have a client with 2 master titles, and sometimes she says to me, I'm stupid. And I'm like, really? With 2 master titles? But she really believes she's stupid. So she keeps telling herself that. So she won't apply for certain jobs. And I see that all over. You know, because of those things that hold us so much, we give our power away.
But we're not conscious about those beliefs.
No. So that's one of the exercises we are going to do today with a little confidence booster. Yes.
I loved the chapter as well in your book about the mirroring and how the mirroring can help us boost our confidence, for example, or the opposite as well.
Yes. So with the mirroring, what I mean is what you see on the outside is actually a reflection of what goes on in the inside. So if we are really convinced, like the example I mentioned of that lady who feels stupid, then because the energy we generate is the energy that is related to being stupid, it's almost as if within Aladdin, where you have this beautiful lamp, that you say to the universe, please show me that I'm stupid.
You are what you are. You attract what you are.
You attract what you are. So all the time you're sort of being challenged and you meet up with things that sort of confirm that you're stupid. But the great thing is that it can also be the other way around. So if you walk with self-confidence and if you feel really strong and powerful, you will have a different energy and you will attract different things that make you more confident. It's almost like a radio frequency.
Yeah.
So, do you put it on, 432 hertz, or do you put it on this kind of hertz? So do you put it on the hertz of being insecure, having low self-esteem, or on the higher?
And this
frequency?
is what you teach
Yes.
people on the work floor.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Now, self-confidence, if I look at my own life, Carina, it has so many fragrances. I'm very confident, put me on a stage, I'm very confident. Let me go to my accountant with my numbers and I lack confidence.
Yes.
It's got so many fragrances.
Yes, yes. That is because confidence is usually related to our skills. So, and also sometimes to our looks. Let's not forget that, because that has become more and more important as well.
Yes,
but
especially
usually,
in today's
yes,
social media time. Yeah?
Absolutely. But also with things that we are good at. So skills we do, experiences that we have had, where we know, like somebody's telling us, you're good at that. So we get this constant confirmation that we are good at it. But then you come to an area where you don't know anything about, like what you're saying, when you go to your accountant. So it's fairly logical that at first that feeling makes you a little bit insecure. And that's how it is. But the good thing is that you can learn also from the energy that you have in that one subject where you feel really confident. And say, okay, can I bring this also to the area where I feel less confident? Okay. Can I bring that energy in there? And maybe, like me, you will never be a good bookkeeper. I don't know about you, Sandra, but I know that's definitely not my forte.
I doubt it, yeah.
Yes. But still you can feel confident, maybe confident in asking for help.
And building up the confidence step by step. Wonderful.
Yes.
What is your wish for your book, for your amazing book? It looks great, by the way, as well. And I read it in 2 nights. It's so easy to read.
Thank you. Well, for me, it's all about this long journey that I had. And I just hope that others, by reading that, don't need to go through all the hardship that I had to go through to get more confidence, and get some shortcuts. And even if a few people feel that they have gained more confidence, then my mission is succeeded with the book.
Well, I wish that for you, Carina.
Thank you.
And it's your legacy also, mind your confidence, mind your business.
Yes.
And of course, your legacy, your daughter, it's also, you honor your daughter in your book.
Yes.
And Veronique is here. Veronique, welcome and congratulations with your mother and her book.
Thank you. Super proud.
So, Carina, would you like to read something, or would you like to share something?
Yes, I first would like to share something. So I have dedicated the book to you, Veronique, and maybe tell you a little bit beforehand. When Frans, my husband, and I, when I was pregnant, we were talking to each other. Okay, so when we have a child, what would we like this child to learn or to have?
Wow.
And we both talked about things in our life that we found really difficult. And we both suffered with low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
So we said, what we want to do is to make sure that our daughter feels really secure. And that's why I dedicated this book to you, Veronique. I'm reading from the book. Even before you were born, we decided to raise you with confidence. You are the embodiment of self-assurance. Your journey has been a constant source of inspiration, teaching me the true essence of believing in oneself. You excel at setting boundaries and know exactly what you want and how you want it, all with unwavering confidence. Franz and I have done everything in our power to nurture and support your self-belief. You are living proof and my inspiration of how confidence and self-love can be cultivated. This book is dedicated to you, as a testament to your strength and as a guide for others to find their own path to self-confidence. With all my love.
Oh, how beautiful is that, Veronique?
Super sweet.
How do you feel? How do you feel about your mum writing this book and dedicating it to you?
Well, first of all, I feel incredibly flattered, of course, to start with. But I think, I'm just very lucky to have been raised this way. And I'm just also very proud of what you've achieved and all the hard work you've been doing. Just incredibly proud.
Thank you.
And I must say, Carina, it worked because I just met Veronique. I saw her walking in. And what a confident young lady.
Yes.
Congratulations.
I try.
You do it.
You know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Thank you, Veronique,
Thank you so
for
much.
being here. And we have another amazing lady.
Yes.
From also the Association of Transformational Leaders Europe. And she also decided to come here and to be here live today. Hanny Wiering. And Hanny is also a dear colleague of us. And Hanny, you are going to read a part of the book, a part that touched you.
Yes. Thank you, Sandra.
Welcome.
Thank you. And actually, I don't read it, but I talk a little bit with Carina.
Thank you.
What I love so much about your book is that you break the taboo of low self-esteem, low confidence and insecurity. And you break it open because everyone deals with it.
Yes.
No matter, regardless your age or your position or the role that you have in society, we all have to deal with it. But we kind of hide it. And what you do so beautifully, you show us that it is not a weakness, but that it is an opportunity, and an opportunity to thrive. And like you, Sandra, the book was so captivating. I read it over the summer and I couldn't stop reading.
Same, yes.
Yes, because all of your experiences and also your openness and your vulnerability in it. In many places, I could myself place into it. I was like, oh, this is just me. It was so relatable to me. So your authenticity was what deeply moves me, and also for me, I saw this is a time in history that we as women, we have to shine, and we have to because now we have to do, there is work to do in the world. And you captivated so beautifully in your book. And so we can have a valuable contribution into the world, and not just with our self-improvement, but to help each other thrive. And your book is a great example for how doing that. And so the exercises throughout the book, they are fantastic. They are practical, they are fun to do, it's easy to do, but they have a deep transformative change in it. And I recognize it by myself, because I did the survey at the beginning, and which is, in my opinion, a smart addition, because when you do the survey and then you see where you stand right now and what you can work through in the book with the exercises, it gave me a clear picture. But working through the exercises, I could really begin to feel a kind of change inside of me. And at the end of the book, there was truly a shifting baseline. And I think this is such a powerful tool for our own growth, and I really recommend it to everyone. Whether you have done some work on yourself or you're just a beginner, I would like to say, just read the book. I did it. I've done a little work on myself in the past, but there's still work to do, because you pointed out so beautifully, it is not a destiny, it's a journey.
It's a journey, yes.
Yes.
You will be challenged, you know, even when you have a lot of self-confidence, there may still be situations where you feel challenged.
Yes.
But
When
how
we
do you
grow,
bounce back?
yes, when we decide to grow and evolve, there's always a next level,
Certainly,
isn't there?
yeah,
Yes.
and it's also very much about resilience.
Yes.
You know, like
Yes.
having the experience, okay, I felt rather confident, but now something happened. Where am I now? But bounce back and feel, okay, I'm not back to square one, but you know, I know the tools now, and I'm much more aware of what triggers me.
Yes.
I love also the attitude of looking towards confidence not as a pain, but we can grow into
Yes.
it, and we can grow more powerful and practice that muscle of self-confidence.
Yeah, it's like a muscle.
It
yes.
is, yes.
And also, I like that you point that out, because some people, and nowadays especially in social media, may make you believe that everything is there with the snip of a finger.
True.
It's not. It's not. Let's be realistic.
It's
you know,
true.
this is
honest.
and this is something that's so deeply rooted.
Yes. Yes, because also in your book you write it's rooted in the past, and we sometimes don't get that. We think it's a moment it's now, but it's actually rooted in the past.
Usually it is, yes.
And how can we heal that?
Well, I would say it's a lot of work.
Yes.
Well, I've got, what I did in the book is I've divided it in chapters and in the learning phases. So to make you also, first you are totally unaware of that.
Yeah.
Then you become more aware. And when you become more aware, you learn the tools, what to do with it. And then at a certain moment, it almost goes automatically. So that's how you can.
And that's how you train people.
That's
course.
also how I train people. Yes.
Honey, what touched you the most in the book?
Well, do you have a little time?
No.
No. What touched me the most is the vulnerability and the openness of Carina.
Yeah.
In how she shows up, and to show us that this is not something to hide, but that this is something to grow, and that this is something where we're together in this. It's not just me. We're all together
It's
in
human.
this. It's
human,
yes. And she shows us the way in such a beautiful way. And that's my recommendation. Just please read the book from the beginning to the end. If you
couldn't stop.
you cannot stop.
Yeah.
You cannot
Yeah.
stop. And I think that by believing in ourselves, what you so beautiful are demonstrating to us, we help each other grow.
Yes.
And I think that's a big topic right now in this time of history.
So
and
beautiful.
especially at work, because maybe we here, you know, we know each other, we can talk about vulnerability, we can talk about, I felt so small
and
today.
we've all done work on
And
each
we've
other.
all done work.
On ourselves,
But can
yes.
you imagine in a multinational company
Yeah.
that you show up and you say, well, today I feel so insecure. I wish people would be more open about it, because then we can deal with it.
Absolutely.
Now everybody's playing, they're putting up their mask.
Yeah.
And you see it.
And that
And you
gives
see
you, and
it.
that brings the burnout.
Yes, and that
And the
brings the
depression.
burnout.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Honey, thank you so much for being here, for sharing your beautiful experience with the book. Carina, you also give an online course.
Yes. I also want to, so I've written the book,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of exercises in the book that are very great to do also in an online course. So around November, I will also have an online course where people
Yes,
can
great.
step in to to be guided by me, not only read the book, but if you
Yeah.
feel like, okay, I could use a little bit more guidance there, then I'm also going to do an online course. Yes.
Where can we buy the book?
The book is on sale at Amazon and on bol.com at the moment. Yes.
So
Yeah, and-
everyone get the book because it is really amazing.
Yeah.
It's something to take with you again and again, because every time it can go a little bit deeper.
Yes.
And like Hanny said, you can play with it.
Yeah.
You can play with the exercises. They're light and they're deep at the same time.
Yeah. Thank you.
You also want to give us a little exercise
Yes.
that we can use to
Yes.
take with us?
I would
Yes?
like to do that also for the people that are back me. I can't see you all because I thought it was going to be in front of me, but I know you're there. And I promised a mini booster, and I've asked Hanny to be my coachee at the moment.
With pleasure.
With pleasure. So we already said that sometimes we are our biggest enemy. And we have all those limited beliefs. And I compare that quite often with voices. Voices we have inside of us. Voices that tell us things. But the problem is with those voices that we really believe what they say. And some of those voices are, angels. Maybe the people also who are listening, they remember the advertisement from Double Frizz from years and years ago, where there was this guy and he had two people on his shoulder. One was him. You remember the one? Yes.
I do, yes.
Yeah, the one was an
Yes.
angel and the other one was a devil.
Yeah.
You
I remember
and
it.
then
Yeah,
the devil,
yeah.
there was something, I think it was around a football cup or something. And then the devil was always, telling him, go on, do the naughty thing. Well, we all have these kind of things, and I say on my shoulders, but we have them in our heads. These voices, they are usually limited beliefs.
Yeah.
And what I always ask my coachees is to observe those voices. What are they telling you? And not only the saboteurs, but also the sages. What do they say to you? And then usually what I do is I ask them to put that on post-it notes, and most of them have already fallen off. But write down what those voices tell you. Just what do they say to you? And then over the period, for example, of a week, make a schedule and place those post-it notes on, on an A4 or an A3 or whatever. And look what kind of sentences are a bit alike. And maybe you even come up with, for example, a title for that voice. So it might be the drama queen that always exaggerates. And then from there we are going to see which kind of sentence hurts you the most. And I know you've prepared this exercise. So can you tell me a little bit about a voice that's coming to you that brings you?
Yes,
a lot of
yes,
stress?
definitely, Carina, definitely. That's the judge in me.
The judge.
Yes,
We
the
all have to
judge.
judge, by the way. All of us.
Yes,
There's nobody who doesn't have to
no,
judge. No.
I can understand that. Yes, and but he's really mean. He's really mean. For example, when I do a creative workshop and people are so happy and they said, this was really transformative, and they are with compliments and nice, and that moment I take it in, and then a few days later, then these voices come up and, well, they said it was nice, but maybe they wanted to be kind to you. And then I'm like, no. And then another voice comes up and it said like, well, I think you can do better. And actually it's always, it comes down for me to that I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to write that. I am not good enough.
No matter how much I do, but it's always in the end, I'm not good enough.
Okay, so let's assume we put this here and we say I'm not good enough. Now, what we can do is we go into the questions of Byron Katie.
Mm.
I'm going to ask you, and you can only say yes or no. Is it true you are not good enough?
No.
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 Okay. Okay. Normally, if people say yes, we can say, can you absolutely know it's not good enough? Because it's usually a limited belief that's inside our head. Then, so far, how do you feel when you believe you're not good enough? How does it make you feel? How do you react?
Yes. So I feel small, and I feel like shortcoming, and I feel like I have to work harder and to do more. Yes, that's what and that's how I react. So then I start, then I think, okay, I add something in the workshop. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah. So who would you be if you didn't have that thought?
Oh wow, I would have plenty of time, and yes, and way more relaxed in it.
Yes.
Yes.
And if I ask you, if you say to yourself, I am not enough, where in your body do you feel it?
I feel it here, high. In this is always a big part of me. And there are two places, high here and low in my belly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people have only those thoughts in their heads, but I think it's really important that's also part of the book, to really feel where you feel it and acknowledge it. And also think like, how does it feel inside of me? So that we can work on it. Also, do you feel it's contracting, or do you feel tingling? Or
yes, so this is contracting, and this is like a little, yes, there's feeling in it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
A little kind of bubbling in it.
Yes.
Yes.
So how would it feel if you didn't have that thought?
If I didn't
If you didn't think you were not enough?
Oh wow, I would feel way more open in my chest, and way more relaxed in my muscles, and it would truly feel like a difference.
Yes,
Yes.
not only in your body, but how would it feel in your life? What would you do?
Yes, more openness, more spaciousness, more freedom, more joy.
Great. So that thought, I'm not enough, we can conclude you were believing in a lie.
Absolutely.
Because that's what you said.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
So apparently you believe in lies.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's change this sentence in something positive. Like, I am good enough. Or I am good. Let's make it even better.
Mm-hmm.
If I ask you to use that as an intention and as a phrase, as an affirmation maybe, I am good enough. How does that make you feel?
Wow, I am good enough. I am good. While I'm speaking it out loud, it immediately feels different in my body.
Yeah, but does it also feel a little bit scared, as if it's not yet fully true?
Yes, it's a little bit like a voice. You're a liar.
Yes, yes. That's the little one again.
Yes.
And that's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. But because you've been believing in lies, then saying I am good enough may feel a little bit at the moment still as a lie. But because you're so good at believing in lies, let's just believe in this lie.
Love that.
And make that the truth.
Yes.
And through making that the truth, you will generate different energy, and you will start attracting things that show you are good enough.
Oh wow.
I get goosebumps now.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a little confidence booster. Of course, this is tiny. Usually I do this much longer, but thank you so much for doing this.
And thank you for helping me through this.
Yeah, well,
It's amazing how powerful we are when we start to
we
use
are.
those tools
Yes,
as humans.
definitely, absolutely. Yeah.
So thank you, Hani, for being our experiment here.
It was such a
And for the
pleasure
review.
and a privilege as well. Thank you.
How
Thank
do you
so
feel
much.
now?
Quite different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Yes.
So, all of you have been watching and listening. Maybe you have some questions for Karina about the book.
Please, go
Please,
ahead.
yes, share, shoot. If we can read them, of course. Can you
I
read
know
them, Karina?
Nicola was going to say them out loud.
Okay.
If she found some ones.
Are there
I
some
am
questions?
here. We haven't got
No.
any questions
Hi,
yet.
Nicola.
Hello.
Nicola is my VA.
Hello, Nicola.
Hello.
Lovely that you're here.
Thank you.
No questions, but a lot of positive comments. Everybody is
Oh.
loving it.
Thank you so much. Well, that's really nice.
No questions at all?
No?
Not at the moment. But if you
Oh.
want to know, Mabel says that Karina is legendary, which I
Oh,
agree.
thank you.
Absolutely,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
True.
Thank you so
Karina,
much.
you are, and it is so powerful, and I can feel the passion coming from you. And so there's going to come an online course in
Yeah.
February.
November, I hope.
Oh,
Yes,
November. November.
Yes, yes.
We can buy the book and read it now. You will also be coaching and training
Yes, yes.
in the
yes.
corporate world.
Yeah, yeah.
So, wow,
Yes.
work to do, Karina
Yes.
Klaassen.
Yes, work to do,
Yeah.
but it's work that I love, and that's the difference. Because in the early days,
I don't
did-
think you will get a burnout from this.
No, and also because I learned to set, where my boundaries are.
Yeah,
But in the old days, I did maybe things I was good at, but did I really enjoy them?
yeah.
And that's also one thing that I want to tell everybody: do things you really enjoy, because that will make a hell of a difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
This-
you radiate it out.
Ah, thank you.
Yes.
Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
This is so needed. This is so needed today in today's world. And I wish you and your book so much success, Karina, because the world needs this. This will change the world. This will change the corporate environment. This will make people so much more healthy and happy.
I hope so. I would
I do
like to-
have some questions.
Yes, please.
Yes. So we do have a question. We have a question from Marco. How do you feel yourself now with this milestone behind you?
Yeah, it's funny. Hi, Marco. Marco was my old line manager. And I also learned a lot from him, especially at speaking in public, about speaking in public. You know what? The funny thing is, a lot of people ask me, do you feel proud? I don't have that feeling. It might sound strange, but it just feels that this is so natural and this was a next step.
Yeah,
And I just hope that I can help people with this. I just feel like the journey I have traveled should not be just for myself, should not be wasted, should be shared so that others can benefit from it.
it's your pearl.
Yes, so in that sense, I don't feel it like, that I should be really proud or something.
But you should be, because it's a
Yeah, that
fantastic
doesn't-
book and you do fantastic work.
Thank you.
Agree.
But-
Agree.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. But it doesn't feel like that. So,
Any more questions?
Yes. Rob is asking, what can we expect from the online course?
okay. So thank you, Rob, for asking this question. So the book is a 7-step gateway to happiness and success. So I would like to take the people into a transformation from feeling insecure, maybe not self-loved, to being in self-love and to feel really confident, and to go through all the steps in the book, and of course even more, because in a book you can only write so much. So it will really help people to transform on a deeper level, because in a book it's sometimes, you keep on reading and people do not always do the exercises. But if you give an online course, then you can really divide it and say, okay, you really should do the exercise and you work with the group. So that's what you can expect, Rob, and it's probably going to be like 8 shorter courses, or not courses, episodes, where people can really, relate to all the steps.
What I love also is you get fast results, like we just saw with honey.
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be long. You
No.
can get a fast
Yeah,
result. Yeah.
You can, but you have to do the work.
Yes.
I see that sometimes. We all coach. Do you sometimes not see that people, they take it in, but they don't do the work?
Yes.
You have to go all
Yes.
in.
You have to go all in.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's also in the online course. If you go all in, you're there.
Yes.
Yes.
But I think, Carina, that the exercises will help to go all in because they are fun to do.
Yeah, okay.
It
they're
is not heavy. They are
Yeah.
fun to do,
Yeah.
and they invite you to do. And so I think it will help them to continue with the course and with the process of
I
change.
hope so.
Yes,
I hope so.
yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yes, we have one more. Desiree was asking, does Karina see that not being confident is seen mostly or more in females than in males?
Definitely. But I also have to say that males are better in hiding it.
That's what I was thinking. Yes, yes.
So I do believe that innately women are less confident because of history. But I also think that a lot of people, men are actually not feeling confident, but they are so good in just putting up a big mouth and just, fake it till you make it.
And what could be problems on the work floor because of lack of confidence?
It's like decision making. It's, people don't dare to do innovations, for example. If you fear to fail, then you just get stuck because you don't do anything, or you just stay so much into your comfort zone. So it will help a lot if people feel more confident and say, okay, but also in cooperating with each other. Because if I'm afraid that you will think I'm not competent, I might not even say I made a mistake, or I might not dare to suggest something new that I thought about.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much going lost because of it.
Yeah, we were really raised also in a community where failure is a disaster.
Yes, but especially I think in Europe. I guess that when you live in the States, it's more accepted. Also if you have a business and it failed, people say, well, try again. But I think here in the West, we are like, failure is, it's like you're done. You're not.
And it's a taboo.
It's also a taboo.
Yeah,
Yes. My first business failed, but I learned so much from it.
I think we learn the most from our failures.
Yes, quite often.
And
So
that's exactly what you point out in the book. That it is not a weakness, but it is an opportunity for growth.
Yes. What can we learn from? And let's be honest, if we look at history, most innovations come from failures.
Yes.
We have post-it notes here. Not that it is life-changing, but Viagra is also coming from failure. And there are hundreds of examples of things that come from failure. So what if we are so afraid to fail, then we won't have those innovations.
Yeah,
True. Yes.
true. I see some more hands raising, so some more questions.
Lisa has a question. Hi,
Yeah,
Lisa.
Lisa.
Hi.
So
Hi.
wonderful. Hi, it's so wonderful to hear
Thank you.
about your book. And I have a question. So this sounds like you're talking about individuals and working individuals, but does this also relate, like, is this a good book for like a manager to get and work with their team, or to have their whole team go to one of your courses as a group? Do you do that also?
Yes, I also do that. And I touch upon different subjects then. Accidentally, I did do this the confidence exercises this week with a group of people from a company. And they rated it as one of the highest, funnily enough. Because always when I do a workshop and I ask people who could use more confidence, they all raise their hand, even in businesses.
Wow.
So indeed, Lisa, thank you for pointing that out. It's not only for the individuals, but it can be done in groups as well.
Any more questions?
Bradley was asking about the online course, and is it self-paced or is it with a group, and is there a certain time frame that you're going to have for it?
I'm still working on it, but it's at first going to be with the group online. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for asking, Bradley.
Any more questions?
Hans was
that-
asking, you've come a long way to get here, and congratulations and enjoy it. Does it now leave you wanting more? And do you maybe want to write a second book?
Oh, Bradley, who's my book coach, he will be laughing now because he's been talking about that. I'll stick to this one first, and maybe when inspiration comes, I will go for next one, but not straight away, because I can tell you it's a lot of work. Thank you, Hans.
Yes, and it's beautiful. Any more questions from the group? Or are we completing?
I think we're completing on the chat.
Thank you so much. I also would like to say that all of the people, most of the people who are listening now are people that I know. And I feel truly supported, not only by you being here, but also by the people that are listening now. Because I
Yes.
feel they also contributed to my stories and to writing this book. So thank you very much. And there's one final acknowledgement I would like to make. Thanks to everyone and everything that led me to write this book, including all of those who allowed me to interview them and share their stories. But a special thanks to my husband, Frans, for loving me unconditionally, for his unwavering support to write this book and give me the space to evolve and develop my self-love with all my love. Thank you.
Isn't that a beautiful completion? Carina, this book, it's ready for the world.
Thank you.
It's official now. It's out there. Mind your confidence, mind your business. Get it, read it. It'll change your life. Carina, work for you to do, and sending you so many good vibes.
Thank you so
Go and fly in the world.
Thank you so much, all of you. And thanks for listening today and being here.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you all. I can see many love hearts coming and applause. Thank you all for being here. And thank you, Carina, for letting me be part of this beautiful celebration.
I was honored by both of you. So
Thank you.
So have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for being here. And go and get the book.
thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.